information security. This involves the protection of documents and classified papers from loss, access by unauthorized persons, damage, theft, and compromise through disclosure. Document security is the protection of records from its entire document lifecycle. Take note, if we say entire document lifecycle, we are referring to the creation of the document up to its final disposition. It also connotes, in the context, the safeguarding of classified matters. There are standard rules for document security. 1. Classification of classified matter rests exclusively to the originating office, which means that the office who created the document has the authority to classify the particular document. It should be classified according to their content, except for radiograms or telegrams. Number 3, classification should be made upon its creation by placing appropriate marks. And lastly, need-to-know principle must be considered at all times. If we say need-to-know principle, only those persons who are properly cleared and who will make use of the document for their duties or needed in their duties are given the right to access the particular document. There are three basic principles of information security. One, we have confidentiality. It is the requisite for maintaining the privacy of the people whose personal information the organization holds. For example, permitting someone to look over your shoulder at your computer screen while you are working on a confidential data. Second, integrity. It means that data is stored in one part of database system cannot be created, changed, or deleted without authorization. For example, a loss of integrity can occur when a database system is not properly shut down before maintenance is performed. Third, availability means that the computing system used to process the information are functioning correctly when the information is needed. It means you can easily locate the information needed using the computing system. Classified information includes all information concerning document, cryptographic devices, developed projects, and materials following on the categories of top secret, confidential, restricted secret, or unclassified. Classify refers to the assigning of information or material, one of the four security categories. As we all know, the basis of classification is the content of the material or information. So this will be a basis to determine the security protection needed. Declassify is the act of removing the security classification from classified information or matter. Reclassify refers to the act of changing the assigned classification from classified information or matter. For example, yung classification niya ay top secret, ngayon i-change mo siya ng secret. Or, yung kanyang classification ay confidential, magiging secret. Upgrading refers to the act of assigning the information or matter to the higher classification than previously assigned to it. For example, yung classification niya ay secret, ngayon i-assign mo siya into a higher classification which is top secret. Compartmentation refers to the grant of access to the classified matter only to properly cleared person. Pag sinabi nating properly cleared, they need to have security clearance. When Such classified information is required in the performance of their official duties. Need to know, or the need to know principle. It is the dissemination of classified information or matter to be limited strictly to those persons whose duties requires knowledge or possession thereof. Take note that those who are given access are uh, they need the information or the matter for their official duty. Compromise. This takes place through the loss of security which results from unauthorized persons obtaining knowledge of classified matters. Security clearance, a certification by a responsible authority that the person described is cleared for access to classified matter, the appropriate level, or it is the administrative determination that an individual is eligible for access to classified matter. Purging, the process of destroying a document which is no longer significant in the organization. Next topic, protection of sensitive materials. Proprietary information. This is an information that in some special ways relates to the status of activities of the processor and over which processor asserts ownership. In the business community, if we say proprietary information, we are referring to the structure, products, or business methods of the organization. So these are being protected to avoid imitation of their products. All proprietary information is confidential, but not all confidential information is proprietary. Trade secrets. This consists of any formula, pattern, device, or compilation of information which is used in one's business. So this can be or give opportunity to the competitors, most especially in a product like imitating the product that is being produced by a certain company. So this is very important. A trade secret is a process or device for continuous use in the protection of a certain business. So example are chemical compound, the process of manufacturing, treating, or preserving materials, a pattern for machine or device, or a list of customers. Patent is a grant made by the government to an inventor conveying or securing to him the exclusive right to make, use, or sell his invention for a term of years. So the expiration of patent is 17 years. Next topic, risk management, alternatives, and strategies. Risk, it is the potential damage or loss of an asset. The level of risk is a combination of two factors, the value placed on that asset by its owner, and the consequence or impact, adverse effect of the loss or damage to that asset, and the likelihood that a threat will use a vulnerability to cause harm creates a risk. When a threat does use a vulnerability to inflict harm, it has an impact. Risk management is the process of identifying vulnerabilities and threats from resources used by an organization in achieving business objectives and deciding what countermeasures, if any, to take in reducing risk to an acceptable level. Risk analysis or the analysis of risk includes examination of the vulnerability, probability, and criticality of potential threats, and it includes natural and man-made risks. The assessment should include potential risks to include the following: workers, environment and surrounding community, impact to the local, regional, and national economics, and adjacent or interdependent facilities and infrastructures. Adversary, or otherwise known as enemy, it refers to any individual, group, organization, or government that conducts activities or has the intention, capability to conduct activities detrimental to the individual, private, or a government entity. So these are group or an individual who are against the security program that you are imposing in a certain establishment or in a certain government entity. Asset is any information, facility, material, information, or activity which has a positive value to its owner, whether it is an individual, private, or government entity. Okay, example of asset in a bank. Okay, what is the asset of the bank? We have the monetary or any document that can be used for bank transaction which are considered as confidential, like banknotes. Probability is the chance or likelihood that a loss will take place. It is being indicated by a mathematical statement concerning the possibility of an event occurring. Criticality is the impact of a loss as measured in financial terms, while vulnerability is any weakness in a target that can be exploited by an adversary to gain access to an asset. There are 5 alternatives and strategies in risk management. Risk avoidance is eliminating or removing the risk totally from the business, government, or industrial environment for which the risk manager has responsibility. Risk reduction is decreasing the risk by minimizing probability of the potential loss. So, example is the use of prevention strategies to discourage or to deter or deny criminal incidents. Risk spreading the risk through compartmentation or decentralization to limit the impact or the criticality of potential loss. Risk transfer, moving the financial impact of the potential loss over to an insurance company. And lastly, risk assumption. These are planned assumption and acceptance of potential risk by making a deliberate managerial decision of doing nothing about the threat or setting aside resources for use in case of a specific loss or incident. Relative criticality. This pertains to the information of the firm with reference to the natural economy and security. For example, okay, we have gasoline depots, communication transmission lines, and power plants. Relative vulnerability. This is the susceptibility of the plant or establishment to damage, loss, or disruption of operation due to various hazards. Example is the location of the building, the machines, or presence of possible poisons in the area. Security hazards. Any act or condition which may result in the compromise of information, loss of life, loss or destruction of property, or disruption of the objective of the installation. There are 4 modes of hazard. Dormant. The situation has potential to be hazardous, but no people, property, or environment is currently affected by this. Potential. A situation where the hazard is in the position to affect persons, property, or environment. Active. The hazard is certain to cause harm as no intervention is possible before the incident occurs. And lastly, mitigated. A potential hazard has been identified, but actions have been taken to ensure it does not become an incident. Sabotage is a deliberate action aimed at weakening an enemy, oppressor, or employer through subversion, obstruction, disruption, or destruction. Espionage, the activity of spying, or the use of spying or spies to gather secret information. Or it is a practice of gathering information about an organization or a society that is considered secret or confidential without the permission of the holder of the information. So this is a hazard because people may come to know the confidential processes or procedure of a certain organization or business establishment. Pilferage, the act of stealing small things or items of little value, especially habitually. There are two types of pilferers. Casual pilferer, one who steals due to his inability to resist the unexpected opportunity. Systematic pilferer, one who steals with preconceived plans. Subversive activities, these are activities designed to overthrow the government or intended or likely to undermine or overthrow a government or other institution. So this may result to the disruption of the normal operation of an institution or organization. Cryptography in information security. Cryptography is the practice and study of hiding information. It is also the study to secure communications techniques that allows only the sender and the intended recipient of a message to view its contents. The term is derived from the Greek word kryptos, which means hidden. So I will show you an example of cryptography. Uh, Let us decipher the information using letters. For instance, the sender and the recipient, so they have their agreement to consider only the fourth letter. Take note, fourth letter. So it doesn't matter if you will start from right to left or left to right. So let us start from the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth letter is I. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, letter L. 1, 2, 3, 4. Letter O. 1, 2, 3, 4. Letter B. 1, 2, 3, 4. Letter E. 1, 2, 3, 4. Letter Y. 1, 2, 3, 4. Letter O. 1, 2, okay, 3, 4. Letter U. So let us read I L O V E Y U or O U. So this is, okay, the information here is I love you. So this is only one of the example in cryptography. You will learn more in your intelligence subject. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something. If you have questions, you can comment down below and I will see to it that I will answer your queries or concern regarding the presentation. So please like this video and subscribe also if you did not subscribe. Thank you and bye.